Old Grognard says, let's learn how the dive for cover action works in Gamma World 4th Edition. I thought this game mechanic was interesting enough that it deserved a video, so here we are. Dive for cover is a defensive action, but it's also affected by initiative. Because of this and how it mirrors what people do intuitively, it might be a good basis for a house rule in another game. Whether it is or not is up to you, but either way, if you're still interested, here we go. We find the dive for cover action described on page 57 of the Gamma World 4th Edition rulebook, under the section about area effect weapons. How this works is that any character that is subject to an area of effect attack gets a chance to dive for cover. The person controlling that character decides whether or not they want to dive for cover. If they do, their character can move to get behind cover that is within 2 meters of them. If they move fast enough, they lessen or avoid the effects of the attack. If there isn't anything available to hide behind, the character may dive on the ground and attempt to avoid the effects by lying flat. In some situations, the GM may rule that lying flat is not enough to allow a character to avoid the effects of an attack. So how we check to see if the character is fast enough when diving for cover is by rolling a dexterity check on a d20 and adding 5 to the roll. If the roll is equal to or less than the character's dexterity, they get behind cover in time and take half damage from the attack. If the attack has an effect other than doing damage, a successful roll has the character avoid the effect completely. If they fail the roll, they don't get out of the way fast enough and suffer the full effects of the attack, but still end up behind cover or lying on the ground. If you're familiar with D&D, this is basically Gamma World's version of a saving throw. To me, the interesting thing about this is how it works with initiative. Now keep in mind that Gamma World is like most games from the 90s, and has a new initiative order rolled at the beginning of every round. It doesn't use the round-robin board game style initiatives some folks are used to with newer games. So what this means is that the initiative order changes from round to round. This is important because if a character dives for cover, they lose all their actions for the rest of the round. So if you won initiative and already took your action or actions before diving for cover, this is no big deal since you already did whatever it is you wanted to do. But if you lose initiative, you have a decision to make. You can dive for cover, possibly avoid damage, and well, be behind cover, but you lose your action. On the other hand, you can just stand there and take the full effect of whatever is coming your way, and if you survive, you can use your action to do whatever it was you wanted to do. I think this is interesting because it creates situations where the players have to make a decision. It's also intuitive, that is to say, outside of game rules, it just makes sense. If there's something incoming and it's not good, your first thought might be, or probably should be, to dive for cover or otherwise get out of the way. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Space Elephant from episode 38 and I would like to wish you a wonderful rest of your day.